Hey everybody, this is Pastor Dustin recording for TeamNerdChurch.com. I'm going to be doing a little phantom action today. What I am excited to report is that I have qualified for an RPTQ. So I'm going to be heading up to Toronto in something like 3 months and taking a shot at one of those 4 slots for the Pro Tour. That has been on my bucket list for about the last 20 years, ever since I started playing Magic when 4th edition was the hot new set out there. And that was pretty much the coolest thing ever, and it still is. So 20 years later, I'm still playing Magic. I've still always wanted to play on the Pro Tour, even if I don't do anything there. You know, like even if I'm the last guy at the Pro Tour, it will still be cool to have been at the Pro Tour. So I'm hoping to qualify. So once the new set comes in, I might be starting to grind some stuff out on here. So you might see a little bit more standard than draft. But anyway, I'm just waiting for people to load up here. So I'll pause it for everybody until I get to that spot. And also, if you haven't already done so, go check out the main site, teamnerdchurch.com, and you can see a backlog of all these videos and some other content. And if you've never watched it before, after all these videos, I always put on last week's church service, which is always immensely better work than what I do here online. I have had the weirdest thing happen, where ever since I started the site up, I have not won all 3 rounds of anything online. But in person, in actual real-life paper Magic, I've been on a huge hot streak. So I don't know if I'm getting all my bad variants out online and getting all the good stuff in person, and if so, that's fine. I'd rather win in person. But anyway, I'll pause it for you guys, and then we'll start right up here into the Phantom action. Alright, here we go. The first thing I'm going to do is not make the mistake that I made last time. Actually, I'm going to look over here at the multicolored cards and see what we've got going on. I'll hide all the basics here, make it just a little bit easier. This is one of those that can be overwhelming when you see all the different colors. So before I get into all of these in any kind of real depth, I'm going to go look at the single colors and see what the single colors can support that these might be added onto. There is Narset here, which seems like it's a bit more of a constructed kind of card than a limited card. Other than that, Abzan Guide is pretty strong, Ponyback's fine, Ice Feather's good, High Spire Mantis is good, Winter Flame's good, Chief of the Edge can be good. So we're going to go over here to our single colored cards, and I'm just going to weed out all of the garbage. I'll pause it here and we'll be back with less garbage. Alright, so after just going through and taking out all of the absolutely unplayables, so far I really like my white and my blue, but I'm not absolutely sold on any other colors here, so that could be an issue. Strong cards, I've got the Wingmate Rock, which is of course a constructed all-star, Kieran, which is a solid card. I've got a couple of Outlast guys and the Falconer and the Priest. I've got some removal and kill shot, Smite the Monstrous, and Suspension Field. Some of the rest of this could be okay. I've got more removal in the Bell Strikes and Forceaways. I've got Pearl Lake Ancient as a finisher, so right now I've just kind of got like the white-blue control deck right over here. But if you look at the rest of the stuff, none of it's just like spectacular. If I wanted to go into white, blue, black, which wouldn't give me access to any of these cool cards, I could have more removal and Dead Drop, Throttle, Swarm of Bloodflies, which would be pretty sweet with all this removal, and better Revelation just to draw me there. Then I've got Disowned Ancestor. But, you know, white, black, blue is not actually a thing. It does allow me to play Chief of the Edge, but that's about it. So black has got Dead Drop, Throttle, Swarm of Bloodflies, Bitter Revelations, and Disowned Ancestors, which, you know, it's a fair amount of cards. Red over here in red, I've got some more removal and Burn Away. Other than that, I'm just not that impressed with it. I can't see going red here, especially just for one card that I'm excited about. If I wanted to go green, white, blue, green, which again doesn't leave me with a whole lot here, I get like Ice Feather Raven out of that. I get the Parapet, which helps to slow my opponent down so I can get the Wing Rock and the Pearl Lake Ancient and that sort of thing. I get Rattleclaw Mystic, which does help to fix for my blue and green, although it doesn't do much for my white, but that's okay. I've got a couple of Savage Punches here, which normally are good. I don't know if I'd be able to punch my way to victory or not with the kind of creatures that I have. So, let's look over here. Let's see. Right now it's looking like anything that's not red. So unless I have some just like crazy go nuts red cards, I'm just going to go ahead and cut everything with red. Yeah, and I mean, these are okay. I can't see going red for them. So I'm going to go ahead and cut everything with red in it. So we'll hide you guys. Hide you guys. And see what we're looking at. Let's see. White, blue, black gives us this. White, blue, green gives us that. Missed my pony back. Let's see. I've got white, black, green over here with the Abzan guide. I could end up going crazy 4-color as well if I really needed to splash for it. And I've got the Abomination over here, which is okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add the must-have white and blue cards and then see what kind of spots are left to see what I want to get myself into. Alright, so I've got 12 white and blue cards that I'm fairly excited about, and I've got some ones in there like Smite the Monstrous that aren't the best, but you know, I'm a sucker for removal. I just noticed if I add green for the Parapet, I'm going to want black for this ability, so I might end up going the 4-color route. So we'll see. Well, first let's see what these Savage Punches do. What do I have that's got power 4 or greater? At the moment, unless you consider Outlast, I have Pearl-like Ancient, which is not exactly like when you want to be using your Savage Punch. You want to get to Pearl-like Ancient. So maybe Savage Punch is not as good as I originally thought it was. Now the Parapets are still pretty good, and Ramp's fine. But maybe I want to stay away from the green for now. So let's look to see if we end up going white, blue, black, and kind of throwing out convention here. We start to look like this. We've got 18 in our main deck. We've got I guess a Skull Hunter here is kind of out of place. Our curve is really kind of screwy here. We're missing a lot of 3-drops. So let's put all the morphs in the 3-drop slot, see what we're really looking at. So here's the funny thing. I have no morphs. I'm not sure how that works, but I don't have morphs in this format. Okay, well, Horde Chief is fine as a 2/3, even if you can't trigger the raid, which I probably wouldn't be able to here. I've got 19, so probably like 3 more. I've got Chief of the Edge, which is okay on its own. I don't have a whole lot of other warriors, especially since I only have 8 creatures in this list, which is not unlike me going a little too creature heavy. But that's fine. I've got the white-black, and that appears to be about it. Yeah, I don't like that. I also don't have a ton of land that really works for me here. I've got what? Got a Tranquil Cove, and holy cow, I think that's it. Yeah, that's not good at all. Okay, so we're doing an extremely non-traditional one, so if you're looking for something regular, you're in the wrong place, but if you're going to look for something that you won't see many other places, you found it. So let's see, I've got 20 actual cards. I'm Creature Light. So I've got the War Behemoth that would help me out as a morph. I've got a Jeskai Student, which actually seems like it would shine in this deck. It's not a warrior, but it does block morphs, in a deck that very much needs to block morphs. So I think that he belongs here in this deck that just like remove your way to a Pearl-like Ancient. Other than that, I guess I've got a Wind Scout. I don't know why that didn't make the first iteration. So there we go. I don't know that Skull Hunter is right in this deck. I don't know exactly what is right in this deck, but I know that I probably need another 3-drop. And so maybe a War Behemoth or a Bondkin. Probably since I'm going defensive, the War Behemoth's going to be better than the Bondkin in this situation. Yeah, I think that's what we're looking at here. So put the War Behemoth in here. Okay, this is, if nothing else, interesting. This is with 18 lands, which, I don't know, maybe even need 19 lands with how bad my mana is here. I've got 12 creatures and 11 others, so let's take a look at this. Alright, so this is what it looks like curve-wise. I've got a paltry 12 creatures with kind of a normal curve around the 3. Of course, in this format, it's way less 3-drops than you normally see. But I've got some reasonable chance of having a creature by turn 3, which is, you know, a prerequisite. But I've got all different kinds of removal. I've got one, I'll just count the hard removal right now. I've got 1, 2, 3, for 5 things that absolutely kill. And then I've got 2 things here that kill for a while, a couple of bounce spells, and then I've got some card draw to get myself over to the rock Pearl Lake Ancient. So I'm going to try this weirdness. As far as potential sideboard cards go, I don't think Rush of Battle is ever going to make it in there. Take Up Arms is probably also not. There's just not enough warrior theme in here. If they've got huge spells, I could see moving some cancels in. Disdainful Stroke could also be good if I'm fighting something a little grindier. Oh, other than that, I don't really see much. It looks like I am just on a Mr. States kind of deck. So we're going to play it like that. I'll add some basics in here. And I'll just take Moto's word as gospel. What do we got? 7, 5, and 4. Does that seem reasonable? Well, the 4 is a little aggravating because I've got 2 early drops here. So I lied. I will not completely agree with Moto. I'm going to give myself an extra swamp. And for blue, I think I'm just going to take it out of the white. I do have a lot of white, but my only double white here is the Wingmate Rock. And I'm definitely going to have those 2 white by the time I've got my Wingmate Rock, right? That's always going to happen 100% of the time. So we'll do it like that. Took one of my white out since I've got that cove. I'll add those to the deck, and I'll submit this sucker. So I'll see you guys in round 1, game 1. This is Pastor Dustin submitting for TeamNerdChurch.com. Join the team by commenting below in the section and checking out the site. Alright, I won